There's a BMF title fight coming up. What do you think about the matchup with Dustin Poirier and Justin Gaethje?
It's an interesting matchup stylistically. I'm excited for this one, and it's a fight that I'm gonna tune in for sure.
Do you see a winner?
Ooh, well, I I think they both gonna be winner in a way that, man, it's gonna be a hell of a fight. I think it's a fight that I believe we will remember for a long time.
A BMF title fight coming up. I'm just curious your opinion on that with Dustin Poirier and Justin Gaethje.
Oh, that's a mad fight. That's a mad fight. Like once I found out the BMFs for you get the pay-per-view points for BMF, I was all behind it. And that fight needs it because that fight will sell like crazy. Because if you have seen the first one, you definitely want to see the second one. I got that as a toss-up. I feel like that's like a true 50-50 fight. Like they're both equally as skilled.
I believe it's going to be Justin Gaethje. He seems a little bit hungrier, but at the same time, it's hard to say with Dustin Poirier, right? I said this before. Dustin Poirier, what makes him special is when he starts to get tired, his details improve in the small movements. So he's a very difficult guy to fight in 5 rounds. I know this fight's 5 rounds. It is an elevation, so I think that's also another advantage for Justin. I'm still leaning towards Justin, but it's a hard one. As far as who I would prefer between the BMF or Conor or Chandler, I would definitely say the BMF. I think these guys are more active. I think if Conor wins and he beats Chandler, I know the UFC will give him a title shot, but I don't know if he's really deserving of it. So I think the BMF title makes more sense.
And the BMF title is up for grabs again in the UFC. What did you make of that when you heard that Dustin Poirier and Justin Gaethje are going to be fighting for the BMF title?
When I heard Dustin was fighting for the belt, I was like, literally, because I've known this guy 8 years. I know him in and out of the cage. I know how he is. I know he's a family man, how he is outside of the ring. I was like, they couldn't have picked a better representation. Because this guy's a bad motherfucker. He doesn't mess with a soul. He's a good spirit, man. He's a good person. Doesn't know anybody a dollar. You know, he's not out to rip nobody off, but don't with this guy, you know. He ain't with nobody, but don't with Dustin, man. He's a real ass motherfucker. He comes from a very humble place, kind of similar to myself, and fighting was his only option. He made it work for himself, and here he is, you know.
Do you see him as the clear winner in this one?
Yeah, call me biased. Yeah, I see him domestic violence on Gaethje by Dustin Poirier.
Considering you've been in there with both Dustin Poirier and Justin Gaethje, I'm just curious how you feel the rematch goes down.
Considerando que você já esteve numa guerra com Justin Gaethje e com Dustin Poirier, como é que você acha que vai ser aquela luta?
De novo, com certeza, uma grande guerra entre os dois. São dois caras duríssimos, lutas são lutas, né? Então, é uma luta que eu quero assistir, é uma luta que eu quero estar muito próximo para poder ver. São dois caras que merecem todo o respeito pela história que tem. Vai ser uma grande guerra.
Surely going to be a war once again. It's a fight. They're going to do what they do best is just go to war. It's a fight that I'm interested in. I want to watch it. And once again, they're going to put on a fight, man.
Your opinion on the BMF title with Dustin Poirier and Justin Gaethje, how you think that goes down?
With those two dudes, it's just a coin flip, really. I mean, who shows up with less injuries and had a better training camp that night? Who shows up? Those dudes are both so good. Yeah, coin flip, I don't know.
Title coming up, Dustin Poirier and Justin Gaethje, how do you think that goes down?
It's a great fight, both of them very good athletes. I believe, maybe Justin, maybe Justin.
It's one BMF title fight, what do you think about that? How do you think it goes down between Dustin Poirier and Justin Gaethje?
So Dustin's my boy, my Louisianian. I've known him since I was 14 years old, so I'm pulling for Dustin. I'll be there live to support him. But I also know Gaethje. We've been on all these retreats and charities and stuff together. So I'm just pulling for Dustin. But it's going to be a great fight for the fans. I think the fans are the only ones who 100% will win in that one.
So what's interesting about Dustin Poirier and Gaethje is that they kind of both have the same losses and the same wins from the same people. So it's like the perfect combination. Either way, how that fight goes, it's going to be amazing. I'm a huge Dustin Gaethje fan, so I got to swing a little bit, like a hair towards Gaethje, just because I feel like he's one of those just like durable, like just tanks. You know what I mean? He's like a juggernaut. Only way to beat him is to either knock him out or sub him. You know, so I'm excited for that one.
Poirier and Justin Gaethje?
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm a huge Dustin Poirier fan as well. I've been watching that dude since Fightville, you know, the documentary. And yeah, I'm always tuning in for a Dustin Poirier and Gaethje fight because those dudes are just savages, you know what I mean? Always exciting, so yeah, I'm definitely going to tune in.
Can you see a clear winner with that one?
I'm rocking with Poirier all the way.
Can I ask you quickly what you think of the BMF title that's coming up, Dustin Poirier and Justin Gaethje? Yeah. What do you think about it? How do you think it goes down?
So at first I thought that the BMF belt was the dumbest thing ever. I was not a fan of it because I'm like, this waters down the sport. You know, this is a terrible idea. Like, I thought belts were only reserved. But now I honestly can say that I appreciate it because there are some legendary fighters that on any given night could have touched gold and it just didn't work out. And so I think this is a really awesome way to still give them some recognition that what we appreciate of them, despite that the fact that they're not champs, but they could have been, right? I mean, super close fights. I mean, I feel like Joseph Benavidez would have been a great candidate for something like that, you know, a people's champ. So these guys are people's champs. They're badasses in their own right, and they have great legacies. And so I'm not so steadfast against it like I was when it first came out.
Do you see a clear winner?
No. I was thinking about that. No, I don't see a clear winner, to be honest. I think it's a very competitive fight, and those are the kinds that I like.
And just interested to find out what you think of the BMF title coming up with Dustin Poirier and Justin Gaethje.
I think that's a wild fight. I think the fight is going to be crazy. I think it's going to be a really good, crazy fight.